This specific episode actually had a purpose that really didn't surround the storylines of the show. It really did what it does for people who are a part of the show. I'll explain. Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. This is my review for Real Housewives of Atlanta. This is season 14, episode 12. As I said, this episode wasn't so much about the mess. It was actually a representation of what this show can and has done for the people who are involved with the show and people who are involved with them. That's what I grabbed out of this show. And I said all of that to say this. I'm going to start right off with Sheree. Sheree, for seasons now, we've been dealing with Sheree in the She by Sheree thing, and that's part of the mess. The mess is that she got a brand that hasn't done what it is supposed to do at this point. But we see it's time. It's Sheree's time. We're starting to push through. What Sheree has done here, I'm going to tip my hat to Sheree because of the fact that I am a YouTuber. I'm a YouTuber, so I know what a big deal that this was, that Sheree kind of opened the door for here. Okay, so she's trying to do this line of clothing and all of this. And in this episode, we see Sheree's coming down off of this whole thing with the bad relationship and all that, and checking in with Sheree and getting to know Sheree and doing what it is that Sheree needs to do for Sheree. So first things first is She by Sheree. We had a whole scene here where Sheree went down to a fabric store as she's talking about the sourcing for the fabric, just getting the creation of the line going. Finally actually doing something other than bumping her gums about it. She goes to a store which is called Melanated Fabrics. Right away, my ears did like this. Why? Because I know about Melanated Fabrics, okay? Melanated Fabrics is actually a store that is actually owned, well, partially owned by a YouTuber that I actually follow, whose name is MimiGStyleshow. Now, you all know that I design clothes and I sew and all of that stuff, do jewelry, all this stuff. I lost my sewing channel. You guys know a couple months ago, I got hacked and had to fight to get my channel back and all that. But in the process, I lost my smaller sewing channel. But I'm going to be getting that all back together. Y'all know that. It's not about me right now. But anyway, I have sewing videos and stuff on this channel too. But whatever. We're going to be back to that stuff. So as I know y'all going to start, well, we're going to be back. I just have to rebuild. It's not a big deal. The big thing, the big channel and the one that was, you know, our home, which is here, I got all of that back. So praise be. Anyway, MimiGStyleshow. MimiGStyleshow is an amazing YouTuber, and she has it going on. She literally has she has Melanated Fabrics, which is a collaborative effort with herself and another YouTuber whose name is Brittany J. Jones. She has a channel as well where she does sewing and she teaches you about patterns and all of these things. They're both DIY channels, and they literally will help teach you to sew while showing you what they have going on as well. Mimi G actually even has her own patterns with the Simplicity line. I love her stuff. I follow her. I'm a fan. It is what it is. But it's a big deal because she was just a YouTuber. She was a YouTuber. They could have spotlighted anybody. They could have went to any fabric store. They could have, you know, because we always see Move Fabric, because Move Fabric, everybody knows Move Fabric from the success of Project Runway and all. They could have went anywhere and showcase Sheree looking for her fabrics and stuff. But Sheree went to Melanated Fabrics, which is just that. It is a fabric store that is owned by two melanated women who are YouTubers. Yes, it is a big deal. Sheree Whitfield, thank you so much. I thought that was a beautiful thing. I loved it. I loved it. And it just showed you the connection. This is what this show is really about. Whether you know it or not, Real Housewives, all the Real Housewives shows, it's really about pushing what you got going on. Not just your mess. It's pushing your brand. So if you sit on one of these shows and you don't have anything going on but your mess, the only fool is you. And then that's when you fall into my hands. And then I do my YouTube thing. And I point out, what kind of a fool are you? You a damn fool if you sit here and you get the opportunity to be on a network such as Bravo and you push nothing to push you ahead. A damn fool. That's what type of fool you are. So I just wanted to take this small time to say kudos to you, Sheree Whitfield, who, you know, she's an OG of the show. I've been with the show since it first came on the television. Have never missed an episode. But Sheree did the daggone thing. She spotlighted onto two other sisters that are out here making things happen. And shout out to Brittany J. Jones and also MimiGStyleshow. If you are not subscribed to them, go find them on YouTube. I'll put their links in there so you can go ahead and support those two ladies as well. They're doing their thing, and congratulations to you two ladies for actually breaking through, honey, and showing up on Bravo. Psh. That's what's up. That's what's up. So that made me very happy, and that just kind of, you know, is what's going on. When Sheree, the look on the faces of Mimi and Brittany when Sheree said, oh yeah, my line's going to have a definite VPL, and they were looking at her like, now what kind of mess is this? What you done came up with, child? What you done created? Talking about a VPL. I know I sew and I don't know nothing about no VPL. I was sitting there looking too like, what I missed, y'all? What's a VPL? That fool done said a visual print line for the males. What? So you are old gray sweatpants pusher. I said, Sheree, go sit down. Sheree's a mess. And she was serious. She gonna say, I said, oh my God. But you just seen their faces. I was screaming. Because they were looking at her like she's crazy. They was like, hilarious. Anyway, also in this episode, we got some mess, but we also more stuff. Kandi and Todd did some amazing things around business and around family, and we're going to talk about all that. Let's go back to the beginning. Let's go to the beginning of the episode. Drew, speaking of family business, here we go with the mess. Drew's mom, Drew and her mom are reminiscing about when Drew was like a teenager and she was working underneath her mom at her mom's practice. And she said she used to go to sleep on the operating table and her mother fired her. And her mother's like, did I fire you? I'm like, you know you fired her. She let her behind go, baby. I said, Drew, so you've been running around a long time, Drew, being Bessie and clowning and giving us material about which to laugh at you. Her mama fired her, okay? I laughed so hard at that. Only Drew. Girl, you are a kiki. Anyway, moving on. So then we go over to Kandi's house. There was this really cute, modest surprise birthday party for Ace. Ace is turning 6. Can you believe that? 6 years old already. Kandi had just like close friends. Kenya was there with Brooklyn, and I thought it was strange that Sonya wasn't invited. I don't know what that was about, because Sonya got the little boy, and I said, well, if Brooklyn, I don't know. I said maybe You know how they go. You never know. Maybe Sonya's going to say something about it later. But it was strange to me that Sonya wasn't actually invited to the party for Ace, and she actually has a little boy. But again, Deuce is not as old, but neither is Brooklyn. But anyway, whatever. But it was really cute, and the party was not overdone. It wasn't a Real Housewives birthday party for a 6-year-old where, it's so huge and big and looks like a party for Christina Crawford off of Mama Dear's. No, it was just a regular schmegular party. And then they had the little gaming truck, which I thought was really cool. And Ace probably loved that. The kids went in and there were like enough videos for everybody to be playing whatever they wanted to play. And they were like, they wasn't in there like playing Atari games. They were in there playing like the new games. I thought that was cool. So that was really good. Really, really good. But Kandi is that. Kandi's very down to earth. Kandi's not this until she needs to be that. She can give you that if you want it. Do you want it? She'll give you that, but they got regular schmegular things going on. Okay, let's go over here. We got Sheree, Marlo, and Sanya together. Did you all notice that it's kind of cringeworthy sometimes? Marlo is always trying to get into Sheree's pocket. Yes, you got a brand and you pushing it, but Sheree's not your only customer, is she, sis? She's always trying to make Sheree spend money. It's like, stop. And you can see that Sheree gets a little uncomfortable, like, girl, like, I'm chilling, I'm hanging out, I'm here, I'm supporting whatever this is you're doing, and I'm just getting my scenes in, baby. Get my scenes in, getting my check down here to the Bravo. And here you are trying to sell me. Remember she pulled that little thing together for her to try to make her feel better, and then kind of pushed her into spending all that money with that personal shopper. Girl, Marlo, if you don't get out of here playing games, honey, knock it off. Sheree, it's easy. No. That's it. No, girl. I ain't coming shopping. I came here hanging out and making my little scenes so I can get my Skrilla. That's it. No more, no less. Beat it. Leave me alone. Anyway, Marlo doing her normal. Everything over the weekend, I was just disappointed with Kandi. What Kandi do? What did Kandi do, Marlo? You just, girl, you got one old light on Kandi's back. I don't know why you keep doing it, but I promise you, it's not going to work out well for you, girl. You better stop it. Told you, your peach, the center of your peach is going to rot out. You better stop. You better stop it. Anyway, during that party, Sonya ends up calling and FaceTiming Kenya to let her know about the Jamaica trip, what they're going to do, because she's basically going to invite everybody to her house on Saturday, the Saturday before the Jamaica trip, and then explain to everybody, basically, this is a couple. She wants to make it like a couple's trip. So you could bring whoever you want. If you just want to bring a +1 that's a girlfriend or a guy that you're seeing, you could bring them with you, because she just didn't want anybody to kind of fall out into the, okay, wow, you're the odd man out. You know what I mean? I'm like, but you got a couple, so it doesn't matter. But anyway, she got Kenya on the phone. It didn't rub Kenya right. And Kenya hung up on her. Like, oh, Kenya. Kenya just was like, what? What are you talking about? Couples? Girl. I was like, really, Kenya? Kenya was like, this is what we're not doing. Hung up on her. So, of course, Sonya was like, I'm going to talk to Kenya about that, because I don't appreciate her hugging up on me. I was like, girl, Kenya ain't going to do that, but stand 10 toes down and honey and tell you, what about it? I hung up because I was done talking. Go on about your business, Sonya. That's going to be a wasted conversation. Kenya was feeling some kind of way about that. She ain't like that. So, past all that mess, we had some bad news. Omicron. When Omicron happened with the whole pandemic stuff, it took the play down. Kandi's play, everything was going really, really well. The next thing you know, Omicron came and just messed it up. A lot of businesses, it was like, soon as things started to look good, then here we go. So she was really, really bummed out about it, naturally. No, you know, she was loving the success that it was picking up quickly, and she was gaining a name on Broadway, which is something new, which is something that she wanted to do. But more than that, she talked about the fact that she was creating jobs for some black actors, the staff, a lot of, you know, African American people were really gaining an opportunity that, you know, we don't see very often. So the loss of the opportunity for the people who were working, you know, underneath her for the situation, she was real. That's what really caused the. It wasn't about the money she was losing or anything like that. She was really, really bummed about, you know, the opportunity that she was presenting, and it's now kind of being like snatched away. And, you know, that's one of those life is unfair type situations. So of course Todd was there. It was like, you know, babe, it just, you know, kind of just is what it is. Ain't nothing you can do. But yeah, she was feeling kind of bad there. So that's that. Marlo still going back and forth with the situation about the boys. She goes to see Dr. I think it was Dr. Tart is his name, but he was a Christian psychologist, and he opened with prayer. That was different. That was different. I liked it. I did like it. I thought it was cool. I know that kind of will limit some of your interaction with some of your people, but it just depends on whose work are you doing. He's like, you know, he comes across as he's like this devout Christian. So I believe in his heart, he's doing the Lord's work. So whatever clients don't come because of that prayer part, I don't think he's too much worried about them anyway. So I liked it. I liked it. I had a doctor at one point. She's not my doctor now, but I actually had a doctor who that was her thing. She was a Christian doctor. She was a Caucasian woman, but that was her thing. When you came in, she says, "Do you mind if I pray with you?" And I always, her name's Linda, but I always loved going to see Dr. Linda. It was never, you know, whatever you had going on, it always was never that detrimental when you go in, because when you come in, it just changed. If you were about it, it just changed how things went. So I kind of like that, and I thought this was cool when I seen that with him. But he did. Now he set the pace, and I was right because it kind of worked out. It seemed like when Marlo went there, she got some resolve. And really all she really got there was some parental guidance. She got some guidance from a person that had children who said, "Hey, why don't you do this? This is what's missing. Structure. Structure is what's missing." And she's like, "Yeah, because I always wonder, do I give in too easy? Am I giving too much, not demanding enough? What am I doing wrong?" And that's exactly what it was. It was like, okay, a little too soft on this. You're a woman. These are boys. There's going to be a different way of handling it. And yeah, all kids are different, but there's definitely a difference between raising girls versus raising boys. And especially, you know, the male role with the daughters and the female role with the son. It's different, okay? But she got some confidence. You could see her, you know, just able to kind of release some of that stuff and not feeling bad. Like, I think she got rid of the feeling bad about being tired, feeling bad about, again, that whole thing about, I talked to y'all earlier about that thing about being in the public court of opinion. It can be very draining. It can be very draining. And I think that she was able to kind of let some of that go. So kudos to you, Dr. Tart. I thought that was pretty cool. But one thing he did say that I thought was important is that it's between her and the boys. No matter what any of us think. The only really, really important thing is that the boys don't ever feel abandonment. Because that's how they got here. Is there was an abandonment and they felt it. Boom, dead on. So whatever decisions you make, in your part of the parenting. As long as they don't feel abandoned, then you did your job. So that was that. I thought that was very important. Very important. Um, yeah, I could speak on that, but I'm not right now. But yeah, y'all know what it gives. So I thought that was really, really cool. Really cool. Okay, so here's where this conversation was, I thought, really good here. Where we got Kayla, Riley, Kandi, and Todd. And they said right out their own mouths, it's not, Kandi said, can you believe it's so strange that we actually have all our kids? We got 4 kids, man, 4 kids, and they all at home at the same time. And I said it before she said, I said, oh, wow, Kayla and Riley's there. So they sat down and they were talking about the future and the what if. If I go, if she goes, if we both go, where does that leave you all? And some very interesting stuff where she said, like, we got three trusts. Todd's, Kandi's, and then what they have together. That's the reality of it, because that's what their life gives. That's what their life gives. Now, that's hashtag goals. Do you understand? People say anything they want. Again, about that court of public opinion. They got rich people problems. You understand? They got his stuff, her stuff, and they stuff. Okay? How's that for a home with multiple streams of income? I'm here for it. Now, that's a problem I would welcome on any day, honey. 3 strong strings of income. That's where you get generational wealth. Seriously, that's how it works. Anyway, so that's what they're talking about. Then they're going into the difference between Todd and Kandi. So they got to figure it out. Because again, they live different. Okay? Kandi doesn't step on Todd's toes as, goes with him and Kayla. And Todd has had to learn not to step on Kandi's toes when it comes to her and Riley. I used to wonder about this when they first got married and stuff. I was like, wow, this is weird, because it's kind of, maybe it won't come across fair that they are both their children. Riley is Todd's daughter, just like Kayla is Kandi's daughter. But they live 2 completely different lives. 2 completely different lives. They really do. Todd is harder on Kayla. He's not quick to give Kayla. He's more, like I said, no, I'm not going to just give it to her. She got to work for this. She has to do this. She has to do that. Whereas Riley is spoiled. Riley's always been spoiled. Riley was an only child to a mother that was quite wealthy. So, and they're different. They are different people. They were raised different, and they literally live different. Though at some point it crisscrossed, and now they're sisters, but they don't live the same. So that's where it's a thing. Like, if Kandi goes, then Riley's in a pickle. She's in a situation. If Todd goes, hell, Kayla will be fine, because I remember seeing earlier on, Kandi sneaks and does whatever she wants to do for Kayla anyway. So that's all that's to it. So listen, it really is not going to be a problem. And I think the girls, they said what they had to say, and they were able to really, openly speak about what it was they want to. Of course, Todd's feelings got hurt, baby. He ended up leaving. He said, oh, y'all is disrespectful. Y'all, just give y'all just, no, Todd, you tight, man. You tight as Fort Knox. We get it. We get it. We understand. We understand, and we get it. Again, y'all are different, and y'all got to find the happy ground, because y'all version of raising children and what you give them is totally different. And the way y'all do it is, it's working somewhat. But it's these little roadblocks here. But you tight as Fort Knox, man. And that's just the way it is. But his feelings was hurt. But the girls were very, you could see it in them. They were very confident, because their mama was sitting there. They mama, and I'm saying Kandi when I say their mama, the 2 of them. Both girls seemed very confident that they weren't even worried about it, because Kandi is going to handle Todd, and that paperwork is going to lean in a way that Kayla and Riley are going to be taken care of, all because of Mama Kandi. Child, ain't nobody think about Todd what Todd talk about. Get on out of here, Todd. Anyway, and Ace and Blaze gonna be fine too. Ain't nobody listening to you, Todd. And if there's any problem, we'll call Joyce. They will call Mama Joyce and the OLG, and there'll be no problem with you, Todd. So you just go on, stomp on out of here. Ain't nobody think about you, man. Anyway, so I laughed about that. But I said, yeah, them girls ain't think about no doggone Todd. Todd and Kandi actually had another sit down during this episode as well, whereas there's another opportunity had presented itself for Kandi to do another play on Broadway. And, you know, her advisors was like, I don't know, Kandi, because that one got canceled. Then what if this one gets canceled? The money, and then just the, you know, just the press. And Todd was like, I was on board with Todd. Todd said, what do you mean? You know, he just had to put it out there like, okay, it's money, but it's just money that the kids won't get because the kids is just, them kids is mean anyway. I say he's just a simple feeling still. But he's like, if this is what you want to do, and you're really showing your tenacity and you're showing your true interest in this part of this business, I think that it's a good thing. Whether it works or doesn't work, I think it's a good look for you. So she was like, you know, happy to have his backing with that. But I agree with Todd. I'm like, I mean, I get it from a financial standpoint, but okay, she got it. She got it. Sometimes business requires a little bit of a gamble. Come on, 777. Go on down to Broadway, child. I was glad he was on board and they didn't get them, because you know, they don't always see eye to eye, but they seen eye to eye and he had her back on that. So that was really cool. Good for you, Todd. Moving on. In the midst of all this stuff going on, behind the scenes, Sonya has actually figured out that she didn't realize it was Sheree's birthday. So they said, we're going to sneak and throw something together real quick, and we're going to celebrate Sheree on that Saturday. When they come to the house, we ain't going to say nothing. We're just going to celebrate Sheree. Now, let's go to this party over here at Sonya's house. These girls are so rude. Oh, my gosh. Everything wasn't laid out the way that they would have it laid out. And when I started seeing little things falling by the wayside, I was like, they're going to drag. They're going to read. And they did. They talked about the fact that it was catered. They talked about that there was no bartender. They talked about the fact that they had a 360 photo booth. It wasn't ready. And then it wasn't working properly. I said, oh. And of course, Drew pointed it all out, because Drew came in on some BS from the gate. From the gate. Drew came in on some BS right away. One, coming to Sonya's house is like, here we go with these two. But she looked nice for a change. She was looking nice. But she came in nasty. She ran in hot. She didn't bring a gift for Sheree, which I thought that was bad, because first of all, Sheree didn't do anything to you, Drew. In this, you wrong. You are wrong. Sheree didn't do anything to you. Your argument was with Fathom. Fathom and you didn't do well, but you're mad at Sheree because you and Fathom didn't hit it off. Fathom is not. She's Sheree's friend. She's not Sheree, and you're trying to say she's her lapdog. You brought her in. You can't put that on her. It'd be different if, you know, I would say it. If Sheree had been working Jack with Fathom, that would be one thing, but she's not. She wasn't working Jack with Fathom. It literally was a thing where you and Fathom just did not hit it off. It is not Sheree's fault. It's not Sheree's fault, and it's not fair for you to take out your frustrations on Sheree, because Fathom worked you, and she did. She worked you. She done doxed you and your doggone husband. She did the most. Now, Fathom, she did the most. She did the most. You know, she can stand and lose a track or two. But that ain't got nothing to do with Sheree. It really don't. You being unfair. And you being nasty for no reason to Sheree. But Sheree handled you. See, I keep telling you, I've said this to you before, which you don't want it with Sheree. Drew, you don't. You may think you do, but you really don't. You don't. Anyway, and Marlo, you are so shady. Because they end up going back and forth. Her and Sheree was going back and forth, and she tried to say something about Sheree not remembering something because she's so old. Sheree said, girl, you wish that you look like, the truth is, she wish she looked like you now, Sheree. It ain't even about when she get older. She wishes she looked like you now, says Sheree was so got doggone clean in this little Gucci pantsuit and this big old thick horsetail ponytail. I said, go ahead, Sheree. She looked good. She really looked good. But Marlo, you threw that old nasty piece of shades on. Girl, Sheree looked good for 60. Sheree is 52 years old. You gonna say she's 60. I said, see, that's why you always get in trouble. And you stay throwing shade at Kenya, throwing shade at Kandi. Stop it, Marlo. You had them Ewok boots on. She looked cute, though. But she looked like an old couture Ewok, honey. I said, check her out. But Kenya, they were just, you know, they were doing what they do at parties. Throwing shade. Kenya, that sat up there, Kenya gonna say, ooh, them patties that we had was just as dry. I said, oh, you're not at the party talking smack about the food. While the caterer standing there, I felt so bad for that man. Because he's the one, he was so proud to give them the little patty. Oh, we got beef patties and we got, what was the other one? Was it chicken? Or was it pork? Whichever it was, they said both of them was dry. I said, oh. And Kenya gonna say, them old dry patties. I said, just rude, honey. Rude. And y'all know Sonya don't never say nothing right there. I said, I bet y'all don't be invited back over Sonya's house no more. How much you want to bet? Anyway, then I laughed at Kenya when Kenya gonna say, you know, every time we go somewhere, Drew always fighting. She said, I'm telling you, Drew should have a sign standing on the street. We'll fight for free. Just tell me where to tell me. That was shady, but it was funny. It was funny. And Drew, you do be into the shit where everybody, every time we go somewhere, you don't know how to act. But then they try to get her to sing happy birthday to Sheree, and she didn't want to do it. At first, she just did not want to do it. And then when everybody gave her, okay, girl, psh, whatever. I mean, Kandi's standing there. Nobody cares, girl. No one cares. Kandi will sing happy birthday and then bust you down with a little bit of, who can I run to? Girl, don't nobody care. Drew's the door. What you get ready to say? But then Drew saw that nobody was filling her tea. So she jumped in real fast and she sang. And Drew, generally you do things that make me have to drag you in these reviews. But when I tell you, little lady, you sang your heart out, singing that old happy birthday to Sheree, coming close to the screen, my love. Listen here, Drew. All this stupid stuff you've been doing as this season's been going, I'm going to need you to stop. All of that. All of that. Why don't you just tap into what it is that you do best? Do you realize that singing is what you do best? You need to sing all your lines. Just sing from here on out. Find something, that's it. You got to find something that works for you. Trust me, singing works for you. You need to try to be friends with Kandi and try to see if you can get one of them old nasty pieces of #1 hits up out of her fingers. That's what you need to be doing. Stop all this fighting with people that them fights you talk about, dry patties and Fatoon, who is a friend to the show, and all that. Girl, stop that fighting and get to singing. Now get out my face. Anyway, listen, this show, this episode, like I said, wasn't packed with a whole bunch of mess, but it was packed with the possibility and what could actually happen to you when given the opportunity, when you're on an actual hit reality show. That's what I saw. I saw possibility in this episode. And it was cool. You know, sometimes you need a break from the mess. It's all right. But Drew, singing. Stop trying to slay, because you ain't be slaying anyway. You be clowning. Sing, sister. Sing all your lines. All of them. Sing it all. All right, you guys. I will catch y'all next week. Later.